And thank you for joining us. It's Nik and Adinah. How are you?
Good, honey. How are you?
I'm doing great.
All right.
So what we wanted to do is come today with a mind of a man.
Been a minute.
It's
been a minute since we've done Mind of a Man. I'm ready.
You're ready?
I'm ready.
I think I gave you a little bit of background on this one. Normally I just spring them on you, but this time I gave you some context.
Yes, you did.
So what we're talking about today is the whole Kirk Franklin cursing his son out.
Not cool.
Not cool. Okay. So let's just find out. What are your thoughts? Of course, Kirk Franklin had a very major meltdown with his 32-year-old son. Mm-hmm. And he was cursing and saying some really not so nice things to his son. He said he would choke him, he would kill him, he would break
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he would say so. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
Well,
real quick too. I have my allergies. It rained all night, and anytime it rains all night, my allergies are going haywire. So
is that for me or is that for our viewing audience?
For the audience, so they see me wiping my nose, and then literally, if I don't wipe it, it's going to be a problem. So It will ruin the whole video.
Yeah, I know. I've been on Kleenex duty, so yes, ma'am.
So I've taken Zyrtex and Claritin, so it's just not working.
Yeah, that's cool. I love you anyway, so that's fine. And I think why are we even talking about this topic? I think first of all, what I'll say is that we talk about relationships, but also emotional intelligence, emotional maturity, and things like that. So I think this kind of falls in that umbrella. And I'll say my take on it, and we're actually going to do something else after this particular video.
We'll
kind of like a follow up of
Yeah.
this, but this is particularly kind of around that particular situation. Some individuals might think that, hey, you know what? If you ever, I'm going to take even another step back. And I am old school, and you're old school as well. I tell people like this. I know what my mama's first name is, but I ain't never called her by that.
Oh, I did that one time.
Oh, shame on you.
Yeah.
It's just a certain level of respect that you should always have toward your parents. So one of the school thoughts, like if you think you're grown as I am, I'm gonna treat you like you're grown as I am. I'm gonna forget you my child.
Yeah.
And I think that's the approach that he took.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, you know what? Oh, this, and I won't even get into like some of the other things around it, but just as far as like, when you have a child and they forget, honestly, that's to say a child should stand in a child's place.
Yeah.
It don't matter if you're over 18 or not. If you my child, you still my child.
Yeah.
So you need to, move accordingly. Then there's another school of thought. And this is where I move, okay, in that even though I am your parent, at the end of the day, I'm still going to move like I'm your parent. And there's a certain level of respect that I am going to demand of you. Mm-hmm. But when you forget that, I don't feel like it's okay for me to bring myself down to that level.
Right.
So as far as, me telling you what I'm going to do to you, how I'm going to do you and everything else.
And talking to you as if you're a person straight out of the street.
Yeah. I just can't do that,
Mm-hmm.
So I can't, one of the things I've always said to you is that whenever there's a situation, I was like, I don't want to lose face. Mm-hmm. And when I say lose face, it's not about any fronts or facades. It's about I'm not trying to lose respect.
Right.
And it gets me because some parents run with their child as their friend.
Yeah.
And that blurs the lines. I mean, as your child gets older, you all have more in common. Because when you, say, for instance, if you have your child at 20, and when they're an infant, you're not going to have a whole lot in common. But guess what? If the good Lord keep you to be 70 and your child be 50, y'all have a whole lot of stuff in common.
Yeah.
So you all,
even 60 and 40, that's like,
yeah, it will, so the relationship will change, but there should never be that dynamic where it's like, okay, well,
we're friends, we're buddies,
we friends, we besties, or I'm going to treat, or
we're on the same level.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So as far as, when it comes to the mind of this man, I don't see anything wrong with demanding respect. Mm-hmm. Because my child like, oh, who do you think you're talking to?
Right.
You didn't forgot. But at the same time, I'm not gonna start swearing and all this other stuff. And my child, I just can't. I hang up on you. Oh, real quick.
Right.
I hang up on you. Be like, you ain't finna talk to me like that. I hang up, but I'm not gonna breaking all that. So it's a tough situation, but I can't do it.
I mean, I think I understand on both levels. I mean, basically what you're talking about as far as him coming out of character that way. At the same time, it's like, oh my nose, sorry. It's like, you're 32 and you're asking certain things of me. You expect me to fund your lifestyle. However, you want to be disrespectful to me. You want to talk crazy to me. But that is also where it comes, where a child has to, at certain ages, you still have to because that doesn't just happen overnight. You have to really nip that in the bud. You have to fix it as they're growing up to let them know, you don't talk to me like that at all.
Yeah, that's true. And, if I'm doing certain things for you, you have a saying, and that saying is, with my money comes
my money.
Yeah. And so I don't know all the insides.
Don't ask for my money if you're not going to ask for.
But, it could be something where there's a desire for, him to continue to do something for his adult child.
Yeah.
And this is one thing I do want to frame. I don't want to minimize anything that happens to anybody.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my understanding is that this is a 30-plus-year-old young man. At some point, we have to come to a realization that, many relationships are not going to get any better. Mm-hmm. So if your relationship is strained with your parent, or if as a parent your relationship is strained with your child, I think you really have to realize that, I have to get to a point where I'm at peace with what I am. Whether that means I need to journal, go to counseling, whatever it is, you have to do it. But, to say that, that's an adult. That's, they grown. So you just really don't want to fall into that. Do I feel like you're wrong? Yeah. Him and his position of, and I heard people saying, hey, he's supposed to be human. No, he's not supposed to be human. He is human. But why do I say that piece? Because there is also the Christianity aspect of it as well. And people are like, hey, he's human and make mistakes. Yeah, it's true. But I think we have a higher calling also.
Right.
So I think there's just an expectation. Is it easy to walk the walk? No. But, if you're going to call it, you got to walk it. So that's kind of how I feel about that also.
Yeah. And I cut you off before. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I didn't even notice it. You were smooth. I didn't.
But I was going to say, with my money comes to my mouth. Do not ask for me to finance your lifestyle if you cannot hear my opinion. If you're not, receptive to what I have to say.
Yeah. Like I said, don't want to minimize whatever he's going through. I won't minimize whatever Kirk Franklin might be going through. But at the same time, there is a particular point where someone has to be the bigger person. Mm-hmm. And then the situation comes to a child and their parent, I always feel like it should be that parent. Mm-hmm. And that's just the way I feel on it. So.
Yeah. I mean, because honestly, if the parent did not have the child would not be here. At the same time, you don't have to accept disrespect. It is never okay for a child to disrespect you. So you have to set those boundaries, but you cannot stoop to a street level or to their level at any point. Because then you really feel like you're my equal if I'm talking to you like that. Yeah. Like your buddy would. And I think that's what it kind of felt like to me. Like, I felt like he felt disrespected, but at the same time, the way he talked to him, it felt like we're just friends in the street.
Yeah. And I don't know. Now, he did come out. He apologized.
To his fans, not to his son.
Yeah. But the thing is that I'm like, okay, what if there was no apology to the son and it was not recorded? It wouldn't have been no apology at all. Apparently, if it was just an apology to like his fans and the people he felt like he left down. I mean, left down. Let down. Yeah. Let down. Yeah. So.
Well, and the thing is, too, how disrespectful is it for a child to tape their parent?
Yeah.
And try to
basically exploit them.
Yeah.
And hold it over their head. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And extort them. Maybe you're saying, hey, if I got tape, I'm going to release it if you don't give me XYZ. Mm-hmm. That type of thing. So there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
In the area of mental health, his son needs some real mental health counseling. And that makes me think too, I don't think he has kids, but that is good that he hasn't had kids, because a lot of people have those issues and they do bring kids into this world and they're not mentally equipped to support them.
Yeah. And, it's just a tough one. It really is. The hope is that at some point there is some type of, reconciliation,
yeah.
yes, between them, and that it pans out. Was it? I think it was poor judgment on both sides. To be honest with you, it was poor judgment on his son's side for recording it, and it was poor judgment on his side for acting the way he did.
Yeah, because that's the thing too. Are you going to allow somebody to bait you? Because clearly the son was baiting him to, because you're taping. So, of course, you're going to say little slick slide stuff and bait a person for them to come out of their character. And at that point, like you said, I think it's important before you come out of your character like that just to disconnect the call.
Right. So,
say, son, I love you, but I'm not going to continue this conversation like this.
Yeah. And I completely agree with that. So that is my take, as far as the mind of the man, this guy. We're going to do a follow-up on this.
Yeah,
we're going to discuss a little bit more in regards to kids and bringing them and things that we've experienced. Because the thing about it is, no matter what happens, typically if you have kids, you've been on both sides of the fence. You've been a child of a parent or someone who has been like a parent to you, and you've had kids. So we're going to talk about that as well. So. That it, baby?
That's it. Like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, like, share, subscribe. Thank you all so much. Take care of yourself. Keep loving one another.